My name's Linda Bland. I've been in Bull Terriers for nearly 20 years, and this is Buffy. She'll be 7 on Boxing Day. We started 20 years ago with our first Bull Terrier, Rosie, and then we got another one, and it's just sort of progressed from there, and we've bred 4 litters over the past 20 years. There's no specific height in a Bull Terrier. Buffy's very bull type. She's got a level top line. Their heads are designed not to have a stop. The heads are meant to be half the shape of an egg. Basically, they're made up of bone and muscle. 75% of their weight is on the front. But they can range from small Bull Terriers to big Bull Terriers, and the minis do have a set standard height. They come in a variety of colours. You've got the whites, you've got the black brindles and white, which Buffy is. You've got the tricolours, you've got the reds, red and white. You've got solid reds, solid brindles, the fawns, and there's even silver brindles. They were bred from the Bulldog and the English White Terrier. They were called the Bull Terrier. As I understand it, Dalmatian was put in for height. Some are okay, but some have still got that where it's quite primal to want to fight with other dogs. They're absolutely fantastic with humans, even dogs that have come into our welfare that have been abused and treated badly. They still hold affection to people, but sometimes they just don't like other dogs, and sometimes you can improve on it and work on it, but sometimes you just can't. It's quite difficult to eradicate. But I'm pleased to say lots of the dogs that are bred for the show ring have all got fantastic temperaments. It's really important for this breed to be socialised at an early age with other breeds and other family pet members. They are clowns and they're very entertaining, and you could have 5 Bull Terriers and each of their personalities would be totally different. They're very loyal, they're fantastic with kids. Some prefer older children than younger ones. Fortunately, mine were all pretty good with children, and all their personalities are all different. You love them all the same, but they're all different. As you can see, Buffy likes a rub. She's very affectionate. They love to be loved, but also sometimes they like their own space. So it's nice for them to have their place where they like to sleep and chill out. As a breed, I wouldn't say that they were noisy. If she is somebody knocking at the door, she'll have a little bark at them, and they're quite silent actually. Some can live with cats. We sold a puppy to somebody once that had 5 cats, and Albie lived quite happily with the rabbit, the bearded dragon and the cats. But Buff lives with her own pack members, but she would chase a cat, and I have got rabbits, and she does like to watch through the fence, but she knows she's not allowed to touch them. They're quite happy to go in their beds and they're fine, but obviously you wouldn't go out and leave the dogs all day because they get bored and that, and if they're younger, some can be quite destructive. So in that case, I would recommend that if you was going shopping for a couple of hours with a younger dog, to maybe invest in a crate. Some of them like to be an only child, but Buff is quite happy to live in a pack. But quite a few just do not get on with other members of the pack. You know, they are better off to be on their own. For exercise, you know, a young pup, you should only do 5 minutes for every month of their life when they're younger. Buff gets about half hour a day running over a field, but she's older, so I'm very careful with Buffy. But the more you give them, the more they want. But then on the other hand, you've got some that are couch potatoes, and they're quite happy to mooch around the garden, but they do like a bit of exercise. But obviously you mustn't run the legs off of them. Just an hour twice a day. They like to play with the ball, they like to play in the paddling pool. They like to root around, and they like it if you hide things. Obviously mental stimulation as well as physical is really important. They like to play with other dogs and run and be nutters, or do their aerobics. They're not for somebody who wants an obedient dog. When they're puppies, they're quite hard work, very naughty, but then you can get other Bull Terriers that are really quiet, placid, easygoing, and you've got to be patient and quite tolerant. They work really well with a clicker. If you're clicker training, they do immensely well with that. It's the same with any breed. You've got to fulfil their needs and mentally stimulate them and give them activities to do. Buffy's quite good at agility. She does blunder around a bit, but she can go over the jumps and goes through the tunnels. If I say to her, piano, she will tap the floor, and she's quite entertaining. They do like to play hide and seek. They like to have a paddling pool. If you put a load of footballs in or quite big tennis balls, they will play putting them in, taking them out, putting them in, taking them out. They're just really entertaining. They are an intelligent breed, but obviously they're not like your Border Collie or your German Shepherd. They do things when it suits. I think a lot of it is you need to find what motivates them, what things motivate them, treats, toys. As a breed, they are very food orientated. For toys, Kongs, Nylabones, you have to be careful with tennis balls because some try and put back 2 or 3 balls in their mouth at the same time, and then you can't get their mouths open because they won't give them up sometimes. Soft toys, they might tend to tear up and shred. It depends on the dog. Some are destructive and some ain't, so I always go for the indestructible. They do play with raggies. Again, they would just destroy them in no time at all if they're that way inclined, which she is. As for grooming, you know, when you're stroking, you're grooming. And yeah, you can use a wet and dry cloth or a brush. Some are like powder soft coats. Some are a little bit coarser. Buffy's is a little bit coarser, but I just use a bristle brush and a barfer now and again. Try not to take the oil out of the coat. They're not a dog that you need a great deal of grooming because when you stroke them, you release the hair. They molt at the seasons. Buffy's shedding a little bit of white hair at the moment, but the hair just drops to the floor. Health testing is an absolute must. There's heart testing, there's a couple of types. There's where they just use a stethoscope, and then there's the Doppler. What I suggest people do is find a cardiologist in your area. Kidney testing is an absolute must for familial nephropathy. You're looking at the tests being under the UPC, urine protein, creatinine, should be under 0.3. In an older dog, yes, it will go up a little bit. And if you've got a young dog and it's quite high, higher than 0.3, you need to get it checked out because the dog may have a kidney infection or something else going on, and they can suffer with polycystic kidney disease. Hearing, definitely, if you're going to get a puppy, make sure it's been Bayer tested, which is brainstem auditory evoked response, and they do that in a few places around the country. One of the main places is in Newmarket at the Animal Health Trust. The other test is luxating patella. They can suffer with that. So again, if you're buying a puppy, always go to a breeder that's done most of the testing, and then they've done everything in their power to make sure that you're getting a healthy puppy. Go armed with a load of questions to a breeder and expect the breeder to do a home check and ask you loads of questions and to make sure you're not working all day, because it's not a good idea to leave a puppy all day if you're going to work all day. You wouldn't leave a child all day. One of the main things is, can you fulfil that dog's needs? Is your garden secure? Not to leave the dog in the car, not to leave the dog tied up outside the shop. There's lots of things to take into consideration. If you go on holiday, who can look after the dog for you? Is there a suitable kennels nearby? Because they do miss their family, their human pack when they go, when they go away and leave them. We personally couldn't live without a Bull Terrier, and I know lots of people also feel the same. They are a wonderful breed, but only for the chosen few, I reckon.